Philadelphia absolutely dominated the Celtics Tuesday night as Boston continues to underperform this season. I'm Madeline Burke for Sports Illustrated here with Ben Pickman and Wilton Jackson. And guys, sitting at 8th in the East, the Celtics have a record below 500. Should Brad Stevens be in the hot seat, Wilton?
Madeline, somebody could make an easy case for Brad Stevens to be on the hot seat, but when you look at the Celtics, two things comes to mind. When I look at Boston, they lack a true identity, and I think I mentioned this on one of the previous videos that we did. When you look at their two star players in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the Celtics rely on them so much to get a good portion of their points per game, and when they don't do that, obviously the Celtics pretty much don't win games in most cases. But when you look at this, Boston also leads the league in players missed due to COVID-19. And believe it or not, that plays a big deal when you're talking about rotations on a team and, team success. And Boston is 5-12 against top 10 teams in the top 10 net rating. So in a combination of these two and with the struggles in lineups for the Boston Celtics, I think that, obviously Brad Stevens as a coach has a role in that, but I think that you can't put it all just on him.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned leading the league with COVID-19. The Celtics players have missed a combined 133 days in COVID protocols entering Wednesday. That's almost 3 full weeks ahead of any other team in the league in terms of missed days. But, when you mentioned they don't have an identity, and we've heard that before, they have 2 All-Stars, but they've had some struggles on the court. Kendrick Perkins said back in February that he thinks that this Celtics team lacks accountability and that he does think Brad Stevens should be on the hot seat. Ben Pickman, what do you think?
I mean, Perk is entitled to his opinion, and we know he's going to give it whether you want it or not. But no, Brad Stevens shouldn't be on the hot seat, right? This is someone who has performed consistently well in recent years. He's made the playoffs with the Celtics in all but his first season. They've made the conference finals in 3 of the last 4 years. Certainly no one would argue that this season is not a disappointment. It certainly is right now. They're 25-26. You mentioned 8th in the Eastern Conference overall. They're about league average on offense. They've definitely struggled. They have the 4th lowest assist percentage in the league, which speaks to their inability to move the basketball. But nevertheless, they're still just 2 games out of the 4 seed. This team still has the potential on their roster to make some improvements. Danny Ainge deserves some blame for the Celtics' struggles as well. The roster, kind of the retool of the bench, has not gone over that well, and they've lost some key pieces in recent years too. But, the Celtics are still a perennial playoff team, and they still do have the potential to make a push. The question is, why have they not so far? And that's really on Brad Stevens, but it doesn't mean it should cost him his job by any means.
Yeah, I mean, this Celtics team does have a lot of talent. It's just not coming together in the way that they had hoped coming into this season. Of course, COVID-19 pandemic playing a very big part in it. We'll see how it all pans out.